Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Revell, and this week's build I'm featuring here, this is a 1970 Mustang Mach 1, and this is a Twister Special. This is a very specific package that was meant for a very specific market, and Ford was just having some fun with it, along with dealers in the particular area. Now I'm talking about the Kansas City area. So these were built and sold in that area, and it's become kind of a legendary thing. But the Twister Special part of it grew out of it because the name, it was jokingly kind of thrown around because that is Tornado Alley, and of course tornadoes are a big issue there, and they were kind of making light of it. I mean, you couldn't get away with that today. Something as devastating as a tornado, naming a car after it. So anyway, getting away from that, it was a very specific package, and it was based on the Mach 1. But it was a little bit more than that, as originally it was going to be 200 cars, and they were going to be very specific. The initial plan was there was going to be 100 Mustang Mach 1s, and then there was going to be 100 Torino Cobras. And they were going to be orange. And about the same time these were coming out in Halloween time frame as well. So even though that kind of happened, that really wasn't why they went with Grabber Orange here, or in the Torino Vermilion, but technically Calypso Coral, but it was called Vermilion at the time, or at least on the Torino anyway. But it's the same color. But so as you can see, I kind of built them both, but we'll stick with the Mustang Mach 1 story. And initially there was going to be 100 of each, and that was the original plan. And they were being promoted by a certain racetrack organization, but that company, that was a nationwide company that was trying to do this nationwide. It was pretty much bankrupt by the time this was moved this far along, and it kind of scaled down. But originally there was going to be 100 Mustangs, and all the Mustangs were going to be 428 Super Cobra Jet cars. However, there was an engine supply issue problem, so what ended up deciding was they were going to keep them the base Mach 1 package, which was the full Mach 1, but those cars, no rear spoiler, no window slats, no front spoiler, and your basic Mach 1 package and Mach 1 interior, and no fold down rear seat. And also none of them had the Magnum 500s from Ford. They had the base dog dish wheels and hubcaps, which I didn't have, but I liked these Magnum 500s myself. And then also every one of them should have a shaker, so this hood is technically wrong on my build here. So I'll point out some of the things on I didn't know specifically when I built this. And so when I had done this, I had done it a certain way and didn't know all of the details. But anyway, because there was a shortage of 428 Super Cobra jets, they kind of split it in half, decided that they would have half of them be 351 four-barrel motors, and then the other half would be 428 Super Cobra jets. And they ended up only building 96 total. So it was 48 428 Super Cobra jets and 48 351s. So it was an even split. It was also even split between 4-speeds and automatics. So there were 24 351 4-speeds, 24 351 automatics, 24 428 Cobra Jet automatics, and 24 428 Cobra Jet 4-speeds. And every single one of them was this orange, and every single one of them had shaker hoods. So this hood, like I said, shouldn't be on this, but that's what was available from the Revell kit. So after everything was all said and done, some of them bounced around, but they were all in the Kansas City area. And then when they were sold, some dealers did swap on the Magnum 500s, and some of them got the spoilers added, the window slats added. So a number of them got them added throughout the years, whether it was the dealer that did it before they actually sold it, or an owner added them when they were being restored. But the basic package had all of the Mach 1 trim, so there wasn't anything that wasn't technically Mach 1. And it had but all of them were this grabber orange color. Now, the hood stripes were right from the Mach 1 package, so that really isn't special. The special was basically this side stripe here that's Ford Mach 1 and the Twister Special decals. So that's really only thing done to it. There wasn't anything done to the basic package right from Ford as how it was spec'd out. So being that how they were built, and the Marty report will tell you everything you need to know about it, if it's a real Twister Special or not. But they're all have a certain VIN, certain build sequence, all built in Dearborn, Michigan, as far as the Mustang Mach 1s. So they were built a very specific formula. And I basically didn't know that at the time. So anyway, that's kind of concludes the basic deal on the Twister Specials and how they came to be. Now, I'm going to take this outside. We'll do it in the sunlight, and I'll have the other ones with it too, just for fun in the sunlight. So we'll jump to that. Well, here we are out in the sun here, looking at this grabber orange paint here, and seeing how this thing really just shines. And the sun brings out the bright orange color, which I love. Looks really good. Problem I've had with this camera inside is with the regular lighting, it seems to try and turn it more yellow than orange sometimes, or even sometimes try to make it a little darker, like red. I get that a lot with the Calypso Coral or Vermilion, where it tries to really make it red. But yeah, this thing's looking really good right here in the sun. Look at that shine. But yeah, should have been doing this before. Never really thought about it. But yeah, let's check that color out. And then for the other one, there you go. Check out that. Now on my screen, it does really seem to make it look red in the sun. This is Vermilion, Calypso Coral. I wonder how it'll look on the monitors compared to out here, but yeah, she's looking really good. That red line in the grill there, that's not supposed to be there. I think the directions tell you to paint it red, so when I was following the directions at the time, but I learned later on that that's not right. But yeah, check that out. Twister Special, Torino Cobra, 429. Yeah. Sharp cars. But yeah, we'll head back on inside. Okay, that's got to look really good in the sun, and I think it really pop, especially, you know, compared to the other cars as well. You know, the Cobra Torino here, which there is a video on this long time ago. And then part of it, when I talked to the build on it, has to do with this car. I featured this as one of the first videos I ever featured on my channel. And same thing with this Torino Cobra right here. This was one of the first models I built on the channel when I started this channel about 4 years ago. So those of you who are new to the channel, thank you for tuning in. If you like this comment, this kind of stuff, please subscribe, hit the like button, share with your friends, and go check out my older videos where you can get more into some of this stuff. But to explain a little bit more of, you know, how this one came to be, started with this one. Now, this is the original 70 Boss 302 kit, and I combined it with the 69 Mach 1 428 kit. So I had built this hood. So I cut the hole in the hood, added the molding, put the shaker in the 428 from the 69 in here, and so I built it that way. And, you know, I changed the wheels out and just basically turned this one into a Mach 1. Those are Keith Mark's decals right there to make it the Mach 1 and all of this stuff. But this was all basically left over from my 69 Boss 302 kit that I built way back then. Now I built that one from the Boss 302 model kit here, used its 302 motor, put it in the 69 body, and did a few modifications to the body, and I made that. Now there's a video on all of that, but it's just kind of funny that I did all that work, made it happen, and many years later, you know, I'm like, I have enough parts left over, so I built this 428 Cobra Jet Mach 1. And then I modified the grill. So this grill, I removed the emblem by carefully chiseling it and grinding it away, added these turn signals to it, and basically made the grill, made the hood, did the modifications, and the rest of the moldings were all decals. And then these came from the Boss 351 kit from MPC. So that's how I built this one. So after having built that a long time ago, and then Revell came out with their kit. This is basically Revell's kit built right out of the box. They added the 351 engine, which is a beautiful engine. They did a great job there. So they added that 351 engine, and they added the hood here with the regular scoop, not the shaker scoop. So they had that, and of course it came with the decals and everything. And then they added the Mach 1 grill there, and the spoilers are already in it, and the Mach 1 chrome moldings there, and then a few other tweaks and touches here. So once I got the kit, and then the correct rear molding, where on that one it's a decal, but the correct molding and all of the decals. So all of these parts were in this kit, and I'm like, oh, great. And I knew about the Twister specials, so I decided that I was going to build this one as a Twister special. And all I really needed to do was paint the car grabber orange, and then have the decals. Now the decals were in my Fred Katie decal sheets, so I had the decals. So it was, for me, a no-brainer. I just built it with a 351, since it came with 351s, and built the whole car right out of the box, and came out awesome. Now it had the spoilers, it had this. So when I build these, I pretty much, you know, love them fully loaded. So I added the window slot and a spoiler, and also because on this one I did it as a little bit more of a base Mach 1, so I didn't have those parts on there. So since I didn't have them on this one, I did it on that one, and I had more of the base wheel. So for this to be a truly accurate one, I really should have the shaker hood, the dog dish wheels, and the spoiler and slats should not be on it. But as you look for restored examples of these today, they have a lot of these features added to them. And that's just kind of the way it is, as many of them were restored, and not many people realize that these were kind of a base package Mach 1 with the, you know, grabber paint and the decals and everything for the Twister Special. So that's the main thing, is these things just really pop, and the fact that they're just pretty rare, being that 96 were built. But, you know, and there's about 90 of these Torino Cobras, which, you know, same thing. These all had the shakers, and they're all pretty much Torino Cobras, and I believe they're all Super Cobra Jet 429s as well. And believe it or not, there was actually 4 Rancheros that are believed to have been built as far as documentation goes, but 2 of them have been found. So anyway, you know, if I'm going to get all of the Twister specials, I really should get the Ranchero body and make that as well. So I think somebody did make a Ranchero resin body for this, but I don't know if it's currently being produced. And then on top of it, if they have the Twister decals to do that, because I'm not sure what it would say on the side, if it would say Ranchero GT on the side or just Ranchero. But anyway, you know, as the ones that were found, I don't think are restored or have the decals on it. They just, with the Marty report and everything, they're found and documented. But anyway, love to see one of those restored. That's kind of gonna cut it for this one. So thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments. I really do appreciate it. And you guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Saturday.